What the fuck is that title? I know, hear me out, but the Mac laptop is definitely probably the best PC system or computer out there. But I would say the desktop version of the Mac is not as good as people are willing to say or fight for. Now, I'm going to look at criteria like utility, gaming, media, longevity, cost, stuff like that to do this. I have numbers, I have scores, and we'll be talking about it throughout this whole video, and I'll also kind of give my opinion of everything throughout this whole video. So, hear me out, let's get right into it to the first one, and probably the best, the Mac laptop. Now, for utility, you can't get better than this. This is a 10 out of 10, right? You can take it anywhere. It has the full Mac system. And if you want to integrate other devices like your phone, your watch, your iPad, etc., it's super easy, right? Apple is a monster when it comes to that. It's a one integrated system. It works really well together. However, when we talk about gaming, it's a 5 out of 10. You have some games, but it's difficult to do it. It's not user-friendly. You have to use the App Store. No one likes the App Store. When you're on a computer, you want to play games, right? So you're pretty much being pushed to buy a console. And you don't want to buy a computer when you have a Mac, because why the fuck did you buy a Mac if you're not going to stay with all of Apple? Now, media is really good, right? You know, a lot of people tailor their apps to Apple specifically because so many people have them, and then you have their own editing software, and they make it a point to tell you that people use Apple systems all the time to do their work. Even smaller creators use Apple because it's so integrated, because it's so simple and easy. Now, I will say the longevity is a 10 out of 10. You can't really debate that. I've heard a lot of people from my last Apple video. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Macs they last forever, and now with the new M4, if you spend that $3,000 to get this laptop, that is probably going to last longer than a majority of desktops. But the cost is the issue, right? I gave it a 3 out of 10 on that, right? The cost hurts. It's a lot of money. And I have always said Apple is a splurging company. It is not a bang for your buck. You know, it's nice, it's good, but it's splurging, not a necessity. It's not everything you need. It is just a lot of great luxuries with a lot of what you need. So the total I gave this was a 35 out of 50. And that might be shocking for a lot of people to hear, because that comes up as a C. However, if there was a perfect device, there would be no debate, right? If there was a device that was 50 out of 50, no one would talk about anything, right? But there's always room to improvement, right? I'm an engineer. This is what I do. But a C on any product is really good when you're looking at it as a whole, right? As very constructive, like criticism, you know, pointing at stand front. There's a lot of stuff you can do, right? You can make it cheaper. You can have it be a little bit more encompassing of the world, of course, right? You could also have it be more integrated in a lot of multimedia systems, right? If you could sit down your Mac and have it connected to a bunch of monitors, have better keyboard and mice, you know, those are all good things you can improve on. But that's the Mac. Now let's talk about PCs, more specifically custom PCs. And maybe in a later video, I'll really break down these specific devices, like, oh, this specific Mac is an 8 out of 10, or on average 40 out of 50, right? And then this custom PC is more of a, 30 out of 50, but this one's a 40 out of 50, right? I can definitely do a video, but for this one, I'm just taking a wide range of the category of custom PCs and saying, like, for a general person, what is good, right? This isn't about gaming. This is just a random general human in this world. What would be good, right? If you value gaming, I think a custom PC is the way to go, because I gave that a 10 out of 10 on gaming. You can do whatever you want. You can connect your Oculus to it without a problem. Almost anything can connect to your PC. It's so open, it's so free, it's customizable, it's good to go. And it's all about the components you have, which will limit you. And with custom PCs, they're pretty much made to be easily swappable. So that's why it's a 10 out of 10. Utility, I gave it a 6. And the reason for that is typically they're bulky. They're a little bit, there's a lot of wires, there's some complexity to it, right? You can't take it anywhere, but once you set it up, it's a powerhouse, right? So that's why it's a 6. Now, media, I gave it a 4, right? They have some cute little free softwares you can get on there. They're not the best. You have to buy other stuff. And to me, it's points automatically deducted if you have to buy it. Third is a lot of the media is tied to your monitors as well as your PC. So if you're spending a lot of money on your monitors when you already spend a lot of money on your PCs, it's just it's a money trap, right? So if you need something, if you want to get good specs, you need to spend more money, where the Mac is, you're getting high end for one cost, right? You know what you're getting yourself into. Longevity, I put a 3. Same thing with the previous category. The more money you spend, the better you're going to get. However, if you don't get the best parts, you're not going to get the best performance. Who knows how long it'll go, right? PCs and builds last a long time, but a lot of people are typically inclined to, oh, I like that case and all these new components, right? I'm going to buy that stuff up, get that increased performance. That's kind of what sucks about custom PCs. You're constantly changing it, and you're constantly flashed with a newer, more interesting model. All these PCs aren't realistic. I understand that. But this is what people always see when they're shopping for custom PCs, and they're wondering, oh, maybe I should get something like that instead of what I have. So that's why I put longevity as a 3 out of 10. Now, cost, the last category, that's a 10 out of 10. And I know what a lot of people are going to say is that's BS. But here's the thing. Unlike Apple, where you splurge to get a lot of stuff, custom PCs are pretty much, however much you want to spend, you can make it work, right? There are hundreds of videos where they're like, oh, 500 gaming PC, right? If you want to play League of Legends, if you want to play this, here's the configuration, right? And then people spend $3,000 to get all the bells and whistles that they might not need to have, but they do it because they can, right? And so with that customized building, that wide range of parts that you want and brands you would rather prefer, you can't beat custom PCs. Now, we can go in and judge individual PCs, but at the end of the day, you just can't beat them on cost. And this gives them a 33 out of 50, losing to Mac laptop by 2 points. That's what separates them. That's why it's a close fight, and that's why there's such a debate. But once again, as an engineer, there's so many things you can improve on gaming PCs, right? And the first thing you say is just a case. Cases are complicated. They're not user-friendly. And when they are, there's always a big limiter, right? The size is a big issue. You have to pick where you want to go. The weight. How do you carry them? Are they transportable? What are they like while they're transporting? Then you go into the specific components in the integrated system. Water cooling versus gas flow. Is the gas flow for the gas cooling okay? Who knows, right? Like, these are really hard things that you have to answer with custom PC. And there's so much to improve. That's why seeing a 66 isn't bad. Because once again, it could be a lot worse. And there are PCs and computers that are a lot worse. But for the sake of maybe future brand deals, I'm not going to say shit. That's how I feel. Now, let's talk about Mac desktops, right? Now, this is going to be a controversial one. So before I go into it, please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. But for desktops, I give it a 6 out of 10 on utility, right? Yeah, just like the custom PCs, they're not really meant to be mobile. You're not taking this to the airport. You're not taking this, to school to set it up and to work on it. There's no way. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you're going to set it up and that's where it's going to be. But, a laptop's going to be a 10 out of 10 for this because you can do work anywhere. That's the unfortunate of a standalone desktop, especially an all-in-one PC like the one I'm showing. 5 to 10 hour gaming, just like the Mac laptop, they're the same system. It's just that the desktop is stationary. I don't think desktop versus laptop for a Mac is better than the one in the other. maybe you could tell me I'm wrong. I would love to hear you out. But to me, it's just the same thing, so they get the same score. Same thing with media, 7 out of 10. Same Mac system. Now, you could argue, because it's a bigger screen, it's stationary, it's going to be better overall, but I'm not going to nitpick, right? It seems like they're the same to me, right? Working on them throughout college and before that in high school, they're basically the same to me. So 7 out of 10 for media. Longevity, I gave them a 7 out of 10. And this might be the most controversial thing. However, I think the longer you go through life, more likely you're going to deviate from a Mac desktop and go to another direction, right? A custom PC or a Mac laptop. That's going to be more useful for you. And that's my issue, is that, custom PCs, it's pretty much like ride or die. You always find use for it. Mac laptops, very similar. But with the Mac desktop, I just see it as a system that you're going to become frustrated with one way or another, right? It's really nice, but you wish you could take it. But then you're going to have to spend a lot of money on a Mac laptop. That doesn't feel good, right? And then a normal Windows PC is pretty good for a lot of things, right? It's what everyone uses, what a lot of people are used to. Mac is good, but when you go around the world, a lot of people just have a Windows PC ready to work on. So that's what a lot of people are used to. And as the older you get, it might be better. Longevity, still 7 out of 10. Gave all those reasons. And then cost is 3 out of 10. Same as the Mac laptop is. You're spending a lot of money. 4K up. You can get maybe a Mac Mini, but we're really looking at a system like this because I feel like this is their showrunner. Front of the store, check it out, and they're expensive and they're hard to validate. And I feel like the younger you are, the more use you can get out of it. And so it's always this competition of like, is it worth it, and how long you're gonna use it for? Right, so it's a 3 out of 10 coming up to a 29 out of 50, beating the 50%. And I think 50% is is it worth it margin. Yeah, it's absolutely worth it. However, you can definitely get more bang for your buck, right? But maybe the Mac system, you're integrated really well in it, you're very knowledgeable, then maybe it's more worth it for you. But I think for the general person, it's not the best option generally, right? We can talk specs later in another video. Let me know if that's a good idea. But for right now, I think a lot of work that needs to help support me to going to Mac desktops like this is, one, monitors. I think they need better monitors and cheaper monitors to add on. I think that's a big up that Windows has on them. I think second, the colors are nice, but not necessity, right? I think you can really get more components into it to make it a lot better. Third, and probably the biggest, is gaming on Macs need to be better, because at the end of the day, if you get a Mac, it could be a family PC at the end of the day, and with this longevity, if you're able to do more on it, especially with kids and everything, wide versatile, it's going to be worthwhile. So that's what I'm going to say about that. So in conclusion, the Mac laptop is the best for the average person, right? If someone came up to me and asked me, what should I do? Without any context, I would say probably Mac laptop. But if you told me that you spend a lot of time at home, I would say maybe you should get a custom PC instead, right? If you're traveling a lot, go Mac laptop. But if you tell me, I have a Mac laptop, but I want to get a PC, then I'll just tell that person, get a Mac desktop. And that's the only reason why I would really recommend a Mac desktop over a PC, is if you already have a Mac laptop. Custom PCs are just really good for gamers, and then I think Mac laptop is really good for students and on-the-go people. I have a Windows laptop. I think it's good for work. I like it a lot for work. But for my personal life, I have a lot of Apple, so I would rather have a Mac laptop for personal use. This is how it is. So Let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's my general thoughts. Love to hear from you. Thank you. Peace.